Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jesper, and on this channel here we are talking about skincare, and we don't use a filter. So when you see me now, it is kind of like how you would see me on the high street. Apart from I do not have any sunscreen on at the moment, and that is because today we are going to talk a little bit about a moisturizer and a serum and a cleanser, and we are going to talk about it from a company that is called Aveeno. And kind of like the cleanser, it looks like this, and we have the face cream. It looks like this, and then we have the serum, and it looks like this. And I thought I would try these things here all together and see how it works, because usually this is sold as being something that is very mild on the skin. So the reason I don't have a sunscreen on today is that I have actually just had a shower, and there I used this one here on my face. I have used it for a couple of days now in order to check how it would actually work on my skin, how would it feel, and so on. I can understand that there are some that are saying that it sort of burns their skin, and maybe this one here as well that burns their skin. I have not felt that, apart from the first day when I bought this stuff here. I tried it directly on the moisturizer and all that sort of thing I already had on my skin, and I just used this one here. And that sort of just reactivated what I already had on, so the lactic acid and that sort of thing. And maybe that sort of gave a warming sensation. But apart from that, using this stuff here just on its own, it did not warm my skin or do anything whatsoever that would be characterized as being unpleasant, or maybe I should stop using it or anything like that. So I will just be trying these two ones here. So the serum and the day cream here, day cream. They say actually you should use it morning and evening, so maybe it's just a night cream and a day cream. So there is this one here, and as just said, I have just used this one on my face. So basically, after I had a shower, I just patted my skin dry, so I didn't rub it or anything like that. And then I just kind of like felt how this stuff here would act on my skin. I like to, when I try something that is a new cleanser, that I just leave it on my skin, as in I wash my face with it, and then I take it off, and then I just leave the skin for a little while to feel, is this something that is going to dry up my skin, or is it actually something that potentially I could just leave my skin without adding any sort of cream on top, because my moisture barrier is working well, and that a new thing that I'm trying, kind of like as this one here, does not disturb my moisture barrier. And I would say, trying this one here, it did not annoy my skin in any way really, and I did feel that I was clean afterwards. I have not tried it to take makeup off with. I'm not quite sure that that will work really well, but I would always recommend using a mineral oil in order to dissolve a lot of makeup before you take it away with a microfiber cloth and some water, and then go in with something like this afterwards. Now I did actually try it with a mascara on my hand, and it didn't work whatsoever. I mean, you need oil in order to take that stuff away, or a micellar water or something like that. So this one here definitely will not take away mascara. So I tried this one here, and I would say it does feel really nice, and it is just how you see my skin now. And when I feel my skin, it feels actually really nice. I don't feel like I need to put any sort of cream on my face, but as I said, I have a moisture barrier that in my opinion is working very well. So maybe if you have a very dry skin, you will need to put something on. And will I in general put something on? Yes, I will. I will always put something on. It's just when I'm testing a product, kind of like as this one here, I will just see how it actually, what it does to my skin if I just leave it. So now we will just go in and have a look at this one here. And this is, of course, an unboxing, or shall we say a re-unboxing, because I have, as I just said, already tried the product. So I just put it back in order to show you. So we have this one here, and the first thing is that it doesn't look that appetizing actually. This stuff here is based on Avena sativa, so on oat, and that is basically what Aveeno is basing their products on. So flour from it, and oils and stuff like that. So apparently that is supposed to be really good. But if you have ever made something like a porridge on a stove, it kind of like has the same sort of color as this stuff here. It kind of like tends to be some sort of a glue-like stuff. So it doesn't taste, or taste, I have not tasted it, but it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't doesn't really smell of anything really. So if we just leave that one, and then we go in with the serum. And again, this is a re-unboxing because I've already been there. So they say actually you should, before you use it, you should just clear the dropper with one pump. Now, I couldn't really find a dropper on this one here because it's a pump. It's a pump. So they say you should use 2 pumps, and that is what I have done. So we will just, for demonstration purposes, do it again. Voila. So. And again, it really doesn't smell of anything. And it's really easy to put on the skin. And I put it on my eyelids as well, and they don't really as such say that you should do that. And I would say if you do that, it kind of like gives a sort of sticky, wet-ish sort of feel on the eyelids, particularly when you are using the day cream afterwards. So this stuff here is basically a lot of glycerin, and then some of these oat ingredients that they are famous for. So this stuff here now, I would say it sort of sinks in relatively easy, but there is just that little thing, and that is, I will say that apart from the oat things that are in here, then there is of course some other ingredients as well, but basically I would say this stuff here is glycerin and dimethicone. Maybe not a lot of dimethicone because this is a sort of a serum, but if you're looking at this one here, so the cream, I would say that is working basically by having a lot of glycerin in it and a lot of dimethicone. And can you feel that on your skin? Yes, you can feel that on your skin. So I will just take a little bit of this stuff here, kind of like an amount like this. And it seems to be actually rather a lot. And I would say usually when you're having something with dimethicone in it, a little goes a long way. But it just means that if you don't use that much, you don't get any of the, or you don't get a lot of the ingredients that are otherwise in the product. So that is the little thing about a product with a lot of dimethicone. You tend to not use that much of it. So you don't get a lot of the active ingredients. I would say, I don't think there is a lot of very, very active ingredients in this product here as such. So obviously there are glycerin, and that's an active ingredient, of course, yes. But when we are talking like vitamin A or stuff like that, things that really make some sort of a difference on your skin, I don't think you can say there is a lot of that stuff going on here. I would say this is mainly just a moisturizer, sort of like a basic sort of moisturizer, and I feel that it is mainly based on dimethicone, and it maybe could be that it could be good underneath makeup, because it kind of like actually works a bit like when you're putting something underneath your makeup in order to make your skin look really like smooth, so a primer. So now I would say this is sort of sinking in relatively easy, and there is just that little thing about it, and that is again the dimethicone. I think either you like dimethicone or you maybe don't like it, and I would say I very quickly get enough of it basically, particularly if there is a lot in a product, and that is simply because it sort of like leaves a barrier on your skin, and it doesn't really sink into your skin. So in that sense, you have this sort of, I would say, a thick sort of strange coating on your skin. And I would say I prefer something that sinks in better, or maybe something like a mineral oil, which is a bit more like, it might, if you use a lot, it makes your skin a bit greasy, but it's sort of like a different sort of a greasiness, where dimethicone has this sort of silky sort of thickness to it, and it just feels like you have something thick going on your skin. Now, when I've said that, then I would say that if you use this, for example, as a night cream, I would say it worked really well for that, in that sense that when I woke up in the morning and my pillow had taken its share of my face cream, then I would say there was actually the feeling of a lot of the stuff on my skin still. So in that sense, I would say that it, for a night cream, will keep in moisture for the whole night. That is what I felt, and I would say in that sense that if you are using other like serums, I mean this serum here, yes, you can use that if you want some sort of moisture. But what I felt was that I was missing my normal serums and lotions and potions. But I could actually see that myself using this one here as a night cream in order to lock in sort of a moisture. But I would not using it as a day cream because I just, again, this it feels like adding a primer to my skin, like in a sort of a thick layer. And if I did not use that much of it, I wouldn't really get a lot of a moisturizing effect, I would think. So yes, this stuff here, I would say, it didn't annoy my skin in any way. And if you are after something that will lock in moisture and do that in a sort of a gentle way, not disturbing your moisture barrier and stuff like that, I would say that there's nothing wrong with it. I wouldn't mind saying, like, if you're starting out with some sort of you want a nice skincare, you haven't really done that sort of thing before and would like to lock in moisture, this could be a good starting option before you go into all sort of more intricate lotions and potions and all that sort of thing. So yes, this I would say is really basically working well, and it did not annoy my skin. But of course there will always be someone that cannot stand some ingredient or whatever, and they might have a sort of an issue. But overall I would say that I would think that most people would be able to stand this sort of stuff here. So yes, if you're starting out with building a skincare routine, then starting with something like this could be a very easy choice. It should not be anything that would really disturb your skin in any sort of negative way. So yes, as such I would say it's okay, but it's not something I'm going to buy again. So that was my verdict on these products here. So they look like this. That. So yes, that was my verdict on that. If you would like to see more of this sort of videos, please subscribe, hit the bell, and do all the things you must do in order to be notified when I upload more of this sort of videos. Thank you for watching. See you. Bye.